So here we want to find the domain of a radical expression in which the radicand is a degree 2. So remember that we want the radicand to be greater than or equal to 0, but this is not a linear expression, this is a quadratic expression, so we have to combine this inequality with what we did early on in this chapter. We have to think about that quadratic, and we cannot use rules of linear inequalities with quadratic inequalities. So I am going to factor this to be x minus 1, x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 0, and then I have to make a number line. Well, I can also think of this as an x-axis, because these would be my zeros. And then I can think of this as a parabola that opens up. It opens up because of the positive leading coefficient. So we're going to have zeros at 1 and 2, and then this is a parabola that opens up. So above the x-axis is where I'm going to have positive outputs, and below the x-axis is where I will have negative outputs. And on the x-axis is where I will have 0. So outputs of 0. Not 0 outputs, but outputs of the value 0. So we want to be equal to 0, which means, let me use a highlighter here, which means these values will give me 0. So that's my equal to part. That's wonderful. Yay. Equals 0. But then I want greater than. So where will I have positive? This I want to be positive outputs, because positive outputs will give me greater than 0. Well, that's going to happen here, correct? Well, where is here going to happen? That's going to happen when I put in negative infinity to 1, and when I put in 2 to infinity. So my answer here is negative infinity to 1 with a bracket, because 1 is included, union with 2 to infinity. So that's a visual way of seeing this, and hopefully you found that helpful. Another way to do this, if you are comfortable doing it the other way, you can make your number line 1, 2, and you can do your true, false, true, and you can see that 1 is included, 2 is included, therefore you would have negative infinity to 1, union with 2 to infinity. You can use the union sign, or you can use the comma, as I did. Okay, you go ahead and try this one. Go ahead and press pause, because I truly am going to come back and just write the answer. Okay, welcome back. The answer is negative infinity to negative 2 with a bracket, and 1 to infinity. Again, that 1 has a bracket.